So we finally have some sneak peek details of what Strike Freedom and Justice Gundam can do. What's up everybody, Fortexfiend here, and welcome back to another video on SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, where we're going to ask the question, should you be pulling for these brand new units, which are going to be coming out very, very soon. We're going to be taking a look at the slides that they released on their official X page. They did release pretty much the highlights of the data, not all of it. So I'm going to be doing a separate video, pretty much doing like a banner review or a unit review after they've come out. But for this one, we're going to be doing the should you pull, since these units and these characters are going to be coming out very, very soon. So we're going to start things first with, Strike Freedom Gundam. And as you could see up in the upper right hand corner, it says UR limited time unit. So that means that this unit will likely not be added to the standard pool of units. So if you miss out on it now, you're going to have to wait until it comes back. So in a nutshell, this character's or this mobile suit's EX ability is going to be dealing a 5500 power. I believe that's the base power. And it says here first ever 5 ranged weapon. Now that kind of confused me because I did take a look at Sazabi, for example, because this screams Sazabi 2.0 for me. And Sazabi's range is 3 to 5. So if it's the first ever 5 range, that means it covers more squares from where this unit is actually placed on the map. Let me know what you guys think down below, but that's what I'm getting for this because that part kind of confused me. But pretty much the highlight of this attacking type unit is it has a 5 range weapon with a base power of 5500. So we don't know how powerful it's going to be at level 5. But the farther you are from the enemy, the more damage you deal. So we have ourselves yet another mobile suit that specializes in long-ranged combat and can deal more damage based on how far you are from the enemy. So we've seen Sazabi do this, and now we have another unit who could do this with a little bit more oomph, seeing as this is a limited time unit. So the next thing we're going to look at is going to be the pilot who pilots that mobile suit himself, which is another UR version of Kira Yamato. We now have 2 UR Kira Yamatos. This is going to be the attack type version from Gundam Seed Destiny. He has that oh so valuable extra chance step, which I know that's a very popular ability. There's only 3 characters that I can think of right now in game that have this, and he's equipped with the first ever level 5 attack burst, which increases damage dealt to enemies by 25%. So if we compare that to the UR Char Aznable pilot, he only has level 4, which is 20%. So Kira Yamato, this version, has an additional 5% of the attack burst, which is very, very strong. We don't know what the rest of his other abilities will be. However, from talking to my Discord server, for those that have watched Gundam Seed, apparently Strike Freedom, never gets hit in the anime or something like that. So maybe he might have the coveted Sway ability too, which would be absolutely amazing. But for now, this is going to be the highlight. He has that extra chance step, which is very rare, and he also has the level 5 attack burst. Next, we're going to be taking a look at is Justice Gundam. As you can see right on the upper right-hand corner right there, it does say just UR unit. So more than likely, this unit is probably going to be added to the pool because this one is probably part of the permanent story that's going to be coming out. So just keep that in mind, but it's going to be introducing a unit equipped with a 4-range weaponry that reduces attack by 25%. And apparently this is the first unit to be able to do this with an alternative series tag. I did double check this, and it is true. This is going to be the first mobile suit unit that can deal a 25% attack debuff with a 4-range weaponry. It also comes with a phase shift armor, which reduces damage taken from physical weapons by 30%. So now you have a tanking unit that can specialize in taking those enemy attacks that deal physical damage. So if you have this unit in your lineup and you're up against enemies that deal physical damage, well, it's going to be mitigating that and also applying this 25% attack debuff. The pilot for this particular mobile suit is going to be Athrun Zala. I think I said that correctly because in my last video, I totally mispronounced his name because I've never watched this anime, but I will watch this anime eventually. So Athrun has 1 extra support defense granted, which is great. Also has level 3 HP repair, which restores 50% HP upon character skill activation. We don't have any other details on the rest of his skills, but that is pretty good. 1 extra support defense is always nice, and also being able to restore 50% of HP is very, very good. Finally, we have a limited time supporter. So this limited time warship, I think, is the sleeper pick of this entire new banners that's going to be coming out, because take a look at that. The tag affects one-shot killer. What unit is part of one-shot killer? Sazabi. Almost everybody that I know, or at least a majority of players, has Sazabi, because Sazabi is one of the most powerful mobile suits currently right now in the game as a damage dealer. All stats receive a 30% boost, and that's assuming that's not with any limit-breaking dupes, which is huge. That is much better compared to some of the other supporters. Actually, all of the supporters that I can think of that we have don't have it this high, so that's really, really strong, and that tag just makes it all that much more valuable. And then the support skill will restore HPs of allies within range. So rather than restoring energy, this one restores HP. So I think this is the sleeper pick of this particular release of banners, because this is a really, really powerful ship. Especially a lot of us use Sazabi as our main DPS, and that one-shot killer tag just makes it all that much more desirable. So we are now at the spicy part of the video. My opinion, should you be pulling for these characters and these mobile suits? And please try not to skip the video, because I'm going to try to be as objective as I can possible, so that way you guys have the information that you need to make your, your research decision, because I don't want you guys to just take my opinion, but also talk to the others in the community, do your research, and formulate your own educated plan on what you're going to be doing with your resources. So, first and foremost, if you are a whale or even a dolphin, you spend a decent amount on this game, or if any of these units are your favorites, you are going to pull. So this video, you could stop it right here. If you're a whale or any of these units are your favorites, you're going to pull no matter what I say. You are going to pull. So this video does not apply to you. Now, objectively, should you be pulling? So I'm going to address several different groups of people here. So the first group is, I haven't played this game yet. I just installed it. This banner came out. Should I be re-rolling? Are these units worth it? Yeah, they're worth it, especially Strike Freedom. Strike Freedom arguably is worth it. It's essentially Sazabi 2.0 is what I want to call it. And if you are installing this game for the first time, you're not a day one player, and you're thinking of re-rolling, then yeah, absolutely. I would definitely re-roll for this unit. Now, have you been re-rolling since day one and still undecided on your account? At this point, when are you going to play the game is my question for you. But if you are still re-rolling since day one and you haven't played the game, then yeah, I guess these are great units. They're objectively very, very good units, especially the limited ones. But if you're re-rolling since day one, I would maybe think about what you're doing. Just saying, because when are you actually going to play the game? Just saying. But yeah, objectively, if you've been re-rolling since day one and you're thinking about re-rolling on this banner, it's a great banner. Strike Freedom is a very good unit. Now, if you are a free-to-play player, or if you're a light spender here or there, and you are unsure about these units, should you be pulling? And here is my objective answer to that. If you have Sazabi, I would think twice before spending your resources on these banners. For Justice, because it's labeled as just UR unit, not limited, there is a high possibility that that unit is going to be added to the standard pool. So I wouldn't even think about Justice Gundam at this point. But for Strike Freedom, if you have Sazabi, if Sazabi has been taking you through content already, like such as Eternal Road and all that stuff, and all the other, in the hard mode for Eternal Road, some of the ones where you can actually use it, I would caution pulling on this banner with your limited resources, because you already have a unit who can essentially do the same thing. Not only that, but because we don't have any of the other data yet for what the pilot does or what the actual mobile suit does, think of what Sazabi could already do. UR Char has boost range, which allows him to hit one extra space above his natural range, so that makes his attack potency even greater. He also has two passives that improves his offensive capabilities, which is great. So think about that before pulling on this banner if you are unsure. Objectively, Strike Freedom is a very powerful unit. That warship is very, very powerful, but the differences is very minute. And I know people talk about power creep. They're like, oh, here comes the power creep. But guys, if you take a look at it, between their two EXs, this Strike Freedom versus Sazabi at level 1 base, it's a 300 point difference. And if we talk about the attack burst, it's a 5% difference. Yes, I get it. Power creep is a thing, but those are very small differences to really consider power creep to be a thing. And this is our first real new banner since this game came out. So there's going to be other banners that are going to be better than this. So if you miss out on this now, there's a chance that it's probably going to be brought back in the future. And who knows, they might even retweak the unit to make it more current with whatever is the content of, you know, whenever that is, whenever they decide to release it. If you guys know what I'm saying, right? So for me personally, if you already have Sazabi, if you are a free-to-play player, if you are a light spender and you are unsure, I would caution and think twice. Because especially if you're waiting for like your favorite unit, like for me personally, on my free-to-play account, I'm not going to be pulling for this banner. I'm going to be focused on developing the limited time SSR units from the event, because we are going to be getting that limited time development. And we know that those SSR units will give you the exact same bonus as the UR unit in this gacha. So for me, from my free-to-play account, I'm not pulling on this. I'm going to wait for an actual favorite of mine to come out, such as Tall Geese 3. If a UR Tall Geese 3 comes out, my free-to-play account is going to be pulling on that, and well, my whale account is going to pull on that too. But again, that is my objective approach to this. And also, like again, I said earlier in the beginning, once these banners actually go live, I will be doing a separate video reviewing them and giving you guys even more of my opinions on it. But from what they have shown us so far, I think objectively, if you are a whale and you or any of these units are your favorites, or if you're free to play and a light spender and you are lacking, let's say, a very powerful long-range unit, then yeah, I would pull on this banner. But if you have Sazabi already and you have limited resources, I would think twice. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what your plans are for Strike Freedom and Justice, what you guys think of the units so far with what they've teased. I'm definitely very excited about this new event. I know that when it comes to approaching things objectively, it may not seem like it, but I am hyped that we're getting new content. Trust me, I am. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys on my Twitch stream when I do stream the event, and also when I stream my pulls for these banners. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and stay blessed, everybody. All right, one more thing that I want to bring up, because I know it's going to get brought up. Well, what about Chance Step? The UR Kira pilot has Chance Step. Chance Step is overpowered. Chance Step is super overrated endgame. Chance Step does absolutely nothing, especially for expert Eternal Road, even hard mode Eternal Road. So if you think Chance Step is super valuable, it is for early content and normal content like story and all that. But when you get to the actual endgame content, it doesn't really do much, especially when you don't have a lot of mobs to kill. Just wanted to put that out there before someone says, oh, you forgot about the Chance Step thing. I think Chance Step is overrated. It's good for certain things. It definitely is powerful, just not for endgame. That's all I'm going to say. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Stay blessed, everybody.